Voters of Queensland, allow me to tell you about this absolute fool named David Crisafulli that wants to be the Premier of Queensland for the Liberal Party. But before I get there, our How to Vote cards are live right now on tpaust.com.au. They support conviction candidates. They will get the shills out of government, including Labor. Now, before I go any further, allow me to tell you about this guy named David Crisafulli and why I think he's a fool. This man, he wants to be the alternative premier. Yes, he wants to get Labor out of government, but I think that there's something you ought to know about this man. You may not know his name, you may not recognize his face, but this guy didn't actually oppose your Queensland Aboriginal State Treaty until after the Voice referendum vote that Albo put up a year ago. This man had no conviction, he had no connection with the electorate. It was only till after your state was the highest no voting state in the country, 70% no voting, that he opposed the Queensland Aboriginal State Treaty. This man has no conviction. He may be in the Liberal Party, but he's no Alex Antic, who we all respect. I don't think there's any steel in his spine. And if anything, we ought not to be looking at this guy for our salvation as voters in Queensland. But let me give you an alternative. Who are the freedom parties that are running in Queensland? And here's the good news. We have One Nation, Pauline Hanson. We have the Libertarian Party running in Queensland. We have Bob Katter's party running in a few seats in Queensland. We have the Family First Party running in Queensland, Lyle Sheldon's party. And we also have some great independents, people like Steve Dixon, that are running in Queensland as well. Now, the Turning Point Australia How to Vote cards at tpaust.com.au, they are guaranteed they all support those conviction candidates first. Then they support the Liberal Party, then they support Labor, and then the Greens and the Socialists. You must number all of the boxes for the whole ballot. You can't just number the ones that you like. You have to number all of them, otherwise your vote won't count. So if you're not sure, head to the site, download a How to Vote card, screenshot it, share it everywhere. Even if you're outside of Queensland, send it to someone you know in Queensland and share it everywhere. Now, where is this election actually going? In Queensland, all the commentators are saying it's going to be a Liberal Party landslide. David Crisafulli is going to be the Premier. I beg to differ. I'm not saying he's not going to be the Premier, but I'm saying I think it's going to be closer than you think. Now, what I hope happens and what I'm trying to see happen is I want to see a situation where David Crisafulli has some steel inserted into his spine, a bit like what we saw in New Zealand, where these conviction parties control the balance of power, where David Crisafulli can't pass anything without the likes of maybe a Bob Katter candidate, or maybe a One Nation candidate, or a Libertarian, or a Family First candidate, or a guy like Steve Dixon. That is what our How to Vote cards will do. Now, if you support them, they're totally free, head to tpaust.com.au. This is your number one best tool to actually getting Labor out of government, making sure we get a Liberal government, but actually keeping the bastards honest so that they actually represent your interests. So we're hoping to get a number of freedom candidates elected. We want to see a situation where David Crisafulli does have his feet held to the fire by people of conviction. And these cards, they do back people that are of conviction. People like Alex Antic, people like Senator Malcolm Roberts and Gerard Rennick. That's who these cards back. Now, if you like that they're free, please head to tpaust.com.au, click the drop-down menu at the top, click the Queensland election and share them out. Now, if you're in Victoria and you're wondering, Joel, our local elections are on, what about us? Don't you love us? Bear with me, guys. There are 500 different electorates, different wards in Victoria. That's 5 times more than what we had to do for Queensland state election. Bear with us. There's a lot less data to go on than Queensland, but we will have those to you at least by Monday, so you'll still have a week to vote. But it's never been done in history for Victoria. We are doing it. We did it in New South Wales and we got a ton of Libertarians elected. So bear with me and we will actually get back to you on those things. But for Queensland, if you're up there, give this a share, get it out there. Even if you're not in Queensland, share this out. And if you're in the Australian Capital Territory, Canberra, our How to Vote cards are also live at tpaust.com.au. And if you've got a by-election in New South Wales, That's where a member of parliament resigns and we have an election. There's one on for New South Wales in Epping, in Hornsby, and in Pittwater. You can also get the cards at the website as well. I'll see you guys later. God bless you. These tools are totally free. I couldn't have done this without you guys. But if you want to make a donation, please head to tpaust.com.au. I'll see you guys later. Take it easy. Let's keep the bastards honest, and let's make sure that we change government in Queensland and around Australia in all the elections that are coming up. I'll see you guys later.